and salutations, it's me, Salty, welcome back to 2 Cents Toys, and today, no, we're not going over the Snow Serpent, we're going to assemble one. This is one of Black Major's, assemble it yourself, glow-in-the-dark Snow Serpents. It's the blue version. Normally I wouldn't make a video out of it, like I would just put this thing together, but you have to rivet the shoulders and the elbows yourself. I haven't really found anything concrete about how to do the rivets for the elbows and the shoulders and the like, so it's going to be a bit of an experiment. I'm also going to be cleaning up a lot of things, like these extra kind of plastic tabs here that are sticking out every place. So I'll be cleaning those up. But hopefully it works out, and hopefully it's fun. If it does work, then people can come here and learn how to do rivets, I guess. So here I have all the pieces laid out with the accessories off to the side, and I attempted to marry up the arm pieces, kind of put them in order. Also off camera, I shaved off all the extra little plastic skin tags, I guess. And here are the rivets, the T-hook, and the screws. These rivets are tiny. They are dome-shaped on one side. I thought about getting a rivet gun, and the ones I found didn't have the correct size. And I didn't want to take a gamble on getting a rivet press online, and it showed up and being the wrong size. So I came up with this idea. I found these, they're called Eyelet Pliers, and the idea was to use that because it looks to be about the right size for the rivet, and there's a hole on the other side. So I picked up this box of nails, that's the size, and the idea is that since they're flat, I can feed them through the bottom, and then I'll have a flat surface so the rivet won't fall through to give me something to squeeze against. So we'll see if it works. If it doesn't work, then, oh well. It was only 18 bucks, and I hope it does work. So we're going to start with the legs, since that's easy. I did have to do some sanding on the inside of the knee because the peg was too big, and I think I may have taken too much because now the knee is a little loose. But since you've seen me put legs together before in a previous GI Joe video, jump cut. They're put together. The right knee is still a little loose just because I over sanded it, but at least it fits on there now. But I can always tighten it with plumber's tape if I need to. And now I'm going to experiment with the rivets. I really hope this works. You kind of have to assemble the right shoulder with, I think it's 4 pieces. There's a front part, a back part, of course the hinge for the shoulder, and then the swivel part for the elbow. Now, that joint in particular, I think it may have been mismolded, just because there was a lot of room in it. Squeezing it as tight as I could, everything still moved around inside of it without any kind of resistance, so here we go. And it doesn't look like it came out of the factory. I mean, the front looks fine, but the back, it's clearly not out of the factory, but it does work. It functions. So I think that's kind of the most important part. And now we're going to attempt the elbow, which is kind of difficult in its own right, and you'll see that as we move on to the left arm here in a minute. So it was a success, as you can see, but the swivel is very loose. So, but it seems like that was an issue with the right side of the body for that mold because I had problems with the knees and the entire arm. But the rivet worked. So, and now we're going to start with the left shoulder. And it's very difficult to kind of keep it steady just because the surface of the nail is very flat and, kind of the curvature of the rivet itself. But it was a success, much more so than the right shoulder. And of course, it doesn't look like it came out of the factory, but I think it looks pretty good. As you see with the elbow, due to the surface of the rivet itself, it likes to slide around on the screw, and then you've got the whole swivel, for the elbow spinning around. But it was a success. It doesn't look perfect, like I showed you with the shoulder, but it does work. So if you need to replace a rivet for an arm, you can use those pliers instead of having to buy a rivet press if you don't, have the money for that or want to take a gamble. As for sourcing the rivets, I wouldn't be able to tell you. They came with the Black Major. You've seen me put together a GI Joe before in a previous video, and there's hundreds of other videos on YouTube about that, so hence the jump cut, and then just putting the final screw in the back there. And that's a Snow Serpent all put together. There are some issues with it, just because some of the accessories don't fit. Like the mortar doesn't attach to the backpack; it falls right off, and the pouch around his waist, it'll stretch all the way around, and you can fit the notch through the hole on the belt, but it just falls right off. It doesn't kind of catch on anything, so I wouldn't rate it super duper high. It was fun to put together, and here he is reacting under a black light, which I think was kind of cool. And that's the glow in the dark feature there, as you can see. It works pretty well for the figure. The accessories, not so much. They do glow, but they don't pick up as much as the figure does. And for this being the first time I've put together a build-it-yourself GI Joe, I think it turned out really well. The rivet idea worked. Again, it doesn't look like it came out of the factory, but if you needed something, I think that would work just to get a GI Joe kind of back into the fight, so to speak. And that's him under normal light, just with a black light, just because I thought that'd be fun to look at. So if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more like it, I'd have another GI Joe video on this channel, kind of going over basics and basic repairs. But if you like this particular video and you'd like to show us your support, then I ask that you please like and share and subscribe. It means a lot to me when you do that. And I appreciate you sitting around and watching me experiment on GI Joes today. And until next time, thanks for stopping by. I'm Salty, signing off.